Lord Premanandi. Hare Krishna. I'm going to read one pastime, Srila Prabhupada. This pastime.
Esta es la definición
What
de
is this? What is this?
Spanish.
This history happened when Bhakti Govinda Maharaj, the day after Srila Prabhupada departed from this world. After his samadhi. I met Srila Akinchana Krishnas Babaji Maharaj. He saw my recorder in my hands, and before I could say anything, he closed his eyes and started singing the Mangala Charanam prayers, clapping his hands. Then he chanted the Hare Krishna mantra, and it seemed like I was transported to another world. He sang very beautifully, and every syllable seemed to be immersed in bhava and prema. 20 minutes later, he stopped and turned to me. There is something I wanted to tell you. What? I asked, and he answered, I'm old now and I have a lot of life experience. I can honestly tell you from experience that there has never been such a great acharya as your spiritual master. When he said this, I was stunned because he was a disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a spiritual brother of Srila Prabhupada. He then said, there has never been any priest in history who could perform such miracles as your spiritual master. He paused and looked at me and he said, you know why? I was shocked. I couldn't say anything. And he said, because in history there was no greater servant of the holy name of Sri Krishna than your spiritual master. For your spiritual teacher possessed such absolute understanding of the holy name of Sri Krishna and such absolute faith in the holy name of Sri Krishna that he himself spread the holy name of Lord Sri Krishna unto the whole world. That is why he is the greatest acharya in history. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Beautiful, no? Glorification. Krishna's Babaji Maharaj.
So this Bhakti Goswami Maharaj is sharing this?
Yes. I mean, he had the conversation with Kinchana Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, Akinchana. This Akinchana means renounced person. No? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he invited in the newspaper, everyone can come to the mat and chant all day, night the holy name. Don't have to do anything else. He will provide room, prasad, everything. Just come and chant Hare Krishna. And some people came. Not all of them stayed. After some time they left. Only Krishna's Babaji Maharaj stayed. And some disciple complained that he's not doing anything else, only chanting. We have to do all the service and all and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, if you can chant like him day and night, you don't have to do anything. Only do this. Can you do it? Oh, no, we are too busy doing things. So anyway, he would chant day and night. Day and night. Sleep few hours, rest. He became so attached to the holy name. So attached to the holy name. In his old age, when he was sick, he had some heart problem. So devotees wanted to take him to doctor. He denied, but they brought the doctor to him. So the doctor was going to examine his heartbeat, with the, what do you call this?
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope. So he put here to hear how the heartbeat was, and the stethoscope fell from his hand. Fell from his hand. And the devotee said, anything wrong with Maharaj's heartbeat? No, it's very nice heartbeat. Then why you drop the, you must hear yourself. Maybe I'm hallucinating, I don't know. So some other devotee is put to hear, and along with the heartbeat, he also heard Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, coming from the heart. Along with the heartbeat, there was a sound of Maha Mantra. His heart was chanting also. So they understood this Mahabhagavat, great devotee. So, since Krishna is not different from his holy name, it's absolute, to be always attached to chanting the holy name is not different from being with Krishna. That's him. That's him. The only thing we have to chant with sincerity, with longing, feeling, hankering for Krishna's mercy, Krishna's service. That's the secret. If we can, Prabhupada, in the Krishna book, he say that the price to achieve a spiritual advancement, perfection, is to weep for Krishna, to cry for Krishna. So, but somebody is very comfortable in material life and difficult to chant with helplessness. One has to be, feeling helpless, in need of Krishna's mercy. Then one can chant like that, with a helpless mood, asking for, crying for the mercy of the Lord. There was one Babaji in Vrindavan some 100 years ago, and he was serving Radha Krishna in the temple, sweeping the floor, and bringing, doing all kind of seva. And he will chant the holy name, crying. And when he became old, so much crying, he became blind. But he kept crying for the mercy of the Lord. And one day he stood in front of Radha Krishna's deities and he started complaining. He said, my dear Lord, I've been chanting your holy name, crying for your mercy, but you don't show any mercy. I don't deserve it for sure, but you can be kind if you want. You don't have to be hard-hearted. And I think that Radharani, she's also very soft-hearted, but because of her association with you, she also became hard-hearted. So when Radharani heard that, she could not tolerate this. So she spoke to the Babaji. Oh, what do you want from us? Oh, I want your darshan. But even if we appear to you, you are blind, you will not be able to see. He said, no, I can't see you with material eyes. Only if you and Krishna put your hand on my eyes, then I will be able to see. So Radharani told Krishna, let's give him the mercy. So Krishna put one hand in one eye, Radharani put the hand in the other eye. Then he have Divya Darshan, divine vision of Radha Krishna. Then life is perfect. Achieve perfection. We were reading yesterday, hearing about Dhruva Maharaj have darshan of the Lord, and he fell in ecstasy. Same thing happened to Narad Muni also when he was in previous life before he became Narad Muni. He also was meditating on the Lord in the heart, and he was in ecstasy, and suddenly opened his eyes, the same form was in front of him. His ecstasy multiplied. multifold, but suddenly disappeared. And he was trying again and again to meditate mechanically and to see the Lord's form in his heart. He could not achieve it. But he heard the voice of the Lord telling him, I appeared in front of you just to increase your desire to achieve me. Those who are not 100% pure, they can't achieve me. Of course, he was following very nicely everything. You know, his name before he became Narad Muni was Vasudeva. And he told his life story, previous life story, to his disciple Vyasadeva. In a previous life, he was a Gandharva, a great musician. And in his planet, one day, there was a meeting of big Sankirtan, you know, chanting the glories of the Lord. Many sages and demigods came to the assembly to glorify the Lord. And he arrived there with some of his female admirers, you know, his fans, and they were asking him to sing some mundane love song. And to please them, he started singing this mundane love song. One sage became upset. He said, this meeting is for glorifying the Lord, not mundane loving relationship. So you're acting like a Shudra. Better you be born as the son of a Shudrani in your next life. Now the Puranas explain that actually he was born as the son of a king and a queen. But his kingdom was attacked by another enemy king, and his father was killed. So his mother has to run to the forest, you know, and took shelter in the house in the forest of a Brahmana, and she became the servant of the Brahmana. So that's why he became the son of a maidservant, like that. So that the course will happen, you know, in that way. And now the question may arise, I mean, why the Lord told him that he only appeared to increase his desire, but he was not yet ready? What was he missing? And Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that Narad in that life, he was still attached to the mode of goodness in the form of the beauty of the forest, the sunrise, the sunset, birds chirping, you know, the sound of the river running, you know, mode of goodness. He was attached to the mode of goodness. So even that was an impediment. What to speak of the modes of passion and ignorance? Much bigger impediment. So we have to analyze that. We need to come to the mode of goodness in order to come to the pure goodness, transcendental life. So there is a process to achieve that. If we want to develop our love for Krishna, there is a process to achieve it. And Srila Rupa Goswami in his Shikshamrita explains what things to accept, what things to avoid. If you follow those instruction, recommendation, definitely we will achieve it. No doubt about it. We have that just to be sincerely wanting to do it, you know. And so Prabhupada had full faith in the holy name. You know, once actually Krishna Babaji Maharaj, what was with Prabhupada and many God brothers, Prabhupada invited them to the Chandrodaya Mandir in Mayapur, and they were having kirtan, prasad together. And Krishna Babaji, he asked his brother, why our Swami Maharaj was successful in spreading the holy name all over the world, and not any of you? Why is that? They were silent, they will not say anything. And he said, because he had full faith in the holy name of Krishna. And that's a fact. I mean, Prabhupada stood under a tree in the park with the kartals, so he was chanting there. He invited young people to chant along. And then that way, by hearing him chanting, they became encouraged to chant also. That's the symptom of pure devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was asked what the symptom of a Vaishnava, he said, neophyte Vaishnava, he chant from time to time. Middle, Madhyam Vaishnava, he chant regularly, meaning every. And Uttama Vaishnava, just by seeing him, people chant Hare Krishna. So, anyway, inspire others to chant. So Prabhupada inspired so many people to chant Hare Krishna all over the world. He inspired his disciple, and his disciple inspired others. Once Prabhupada received a letter from a new girl. She said in the letter, I live in a city where there is no temple, no devotees, but I hear from your disciples the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna. And now I'm chanting regularly the Maha Mantra. Can you tell me if I can encourage others to chant also? And Prabhupada answer to her was, yes. My disciple heard from me the Maha Mantra, and you hear from them, so you are in our disciplic succession. You are authorized to give others the holy name. Like that. So liberal was Prabhupada, isn't it? Very liberal in that regard. So, once two new devotees, at the beginning of the movement this happened, they came to know Prabhupada was going to give initiation next day, and they came and asked, Prabhupada, we also want to be initiated. How long you been chanting? 2 weeks. Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions first. Who is Krishna? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. And who are you? We are His eternal servants. Tomorrow you will be initiated. At least the basic understanding is there. That's the basic understanding. Otherwise, it's Mayavad, no? Everything is one. You're Krishna, I'm Krishna. They clearly understood. So this is the most important thing. To know that we are eternal servant of Krishna. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami. When he asked him, Ke ami tapatrai, who I am and why I'm suffering the triple miseries. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityalas, you are eternal servant of Krishna. But since time immemorial you're trying to forget Krishna, so the material energy gives you misery. To correct you, it's a correction. To correct our mentality, rebellious mentality, to avoid surrendering to Krishna. Then we have to surrender to the material energy. Because once a young man approached Prabhupada, he said, I know my feelings are not right, but where actually I should bow down? Prabhupada said, first you have to understand, you have to bow down to everything. You have to bow down to death, disease, old age. You have to bow down everything. So no matter what you do, you have to bow down. Now, since you can't avoid bowing down, it's your duty is to find where by bowing down you will be happy. And that is Krishna. If you bow down to Krishna, that will make you happy. But bowing down you can't avoid. It's in your nature. That's the nature of the soul. So Krishna consciousness is very, very common, logical understanding who we are and what is our duty. Since we are servant by nature, we can't accept, we can't avoid being what we are. By not forgetting serving Krishna, we have to serve so many things, so many other things, because it's in our nature. Some persons say, I don't have to serve anyone, I'm a very rich man, everybody's serving me. Then you are serving your senses, the demand of your mind and senses. I want this, I want that. But service, nobody can avoid. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us how to develop our love for Krishna by feeling His absence. Feeling His absence. I'm going to read you another quote from Srila Prabhupada. This is from Madhya Leela 1187, purport. This Unmada madness is not ordinary madness. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talked inconsistently, almost like a crazy fellow, he was in the transcendental ecstasy of love. In the highest transcendental ecstasy, there is a feeling of being enchanted in the presence of the enchanter. When the enchanter and the enchanted become separated, mohana or bewilderment occurs. When so bewildered due to separation, one becomes stunned. And at that time, all the bodily symptoms of transcendental ecstasy are manifested. When they are manifest, one appears inconceivably crazy. This is called transcendental madness. In this state, there is imaginative discourse, and one experiences emotions like those of a madman. The madness of Srimati Radharani was explained to Krishna by Uddhava, who said, My dear Krishna, because of extreme feelings of separation from you, Srimati Radharani is sometimes making her bed in the groves of the forest, sometimes rebuking a bluish cloud, and sometimes wandering about in the dense darkness of the forest. Thus she has become like a crazy woman. The love of Krishna can make you mad. But this madness is good. The material madness is everybody mad after sense gratification. But this madness for love of Krishna is good. You know, beginning of the movement, the devotees were accused being mad, crazy. I don't know if you hear the story that one morning Prabhupada told one disciple, go to the park and bring me a toothbrush. I told you the story. So then Prabhupada had to write an article, who's crazy? And he explained the article. If you believe something you are not, then you're crazy. So since everybody believe they are the body, then everybody is crazy. The only sane persons are the devotees, who knows they are not the body. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was searching always after Krishna in the mood of Radha. Of course, separation comes after meeting. So there was meeting, then there comes separation. But there is another type of separation called Purva Raga, anticipation before the first meeting. So that is also can be experienced by us. I mean, to desire to know Krishna, and that is very good. Prabhupada said the devotees who go Vrindavan searching for Krishna, it is as good as meeting Him. That desire is as good as meeting Him, because the feeling of love and separation this hankering, no, laulyam, is actually non-different from Krishna. So the Goswamis showed that example by themselves. Once Prabhupada was preaching to some government officer in his house, he was in India, and the gentleman, he gifted Prabhupada sandalwood statues of Krishna, beautiful statue, Krishna playing the flute, made of sandalwood, beautiful. Prabhupada gave it to the daughter of his disciple Shyam Sundar. She was 3 years old. What was her name?
Saraswati.
No, Saraswati. Saraswati. So like a child, she put the murti on the table and she went to play. And Prabhupada was explaining to this officer that the Goswamis were always searching for Krishna, feeling the separation. And he quoted, He Radhe Brajadevi Ke Chalalite, He Nanda Shuno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpa Padapatale, Kalindi Vane Kuta, Goshantaviti Sarvato Brajapure, Kedai Mahavi Balo, Vande Rupa Sanatana Ragujago, Sri Jiva Gopalako. They are all searching for Radha and Krishna. Are they on the Govardhan hill, on the shore of the Yamuna? They are always in that mood, no? So then Prabhupada took the murti and hid it behind his back. And the little Saraswati came and she didn't see her Krishna. So she started asking everyone, have you seen my Krishna? And she started crying. Who took my Krishna? Who took my Krishna? So the devotees were surprised, and when the officer was like, and when the devotee wanted to help her, he asked her, Saraswati, who among us may have Krishna? And she looked at everyone. Prabhupada has Krishna. And Krishna took the murti behind his back and gave it back to her. So the officer understood that even a child can hanker after Krishna. Prabhupada wanted to teach him that. When Mahaprabhu was performing his pastime at Srivas Thakur's house, there was a little girl there named Narayani. She later became the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur. And Mahaprabhu ordered her, Narayani, cry for Krishna. And suddenly she was crying in ecstasy for Krishna, feeling love and separation from Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Like that. So, this is I mean to say, unless we increase our desire to be with Krishna, to serve Krishna, to know Krishna, we will be still entangled in the material world, because Maya is on the back of Krishna. If we always have Krishna in our life, we will not be touched by the Maya on his back. But as soon as we forget Krishna, immediately Maya is there to attract us, to entice us. So this is going on, and we have to be alert, be eager, to increase our desire to make spiritual advancement. Prabhupada says, not like, oh, I saw Krishna last night, finish business. No, it's not like that. Always hankering after Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will see Krishna and suddenly Krishna will disappear and he will go mad searching for him. And the servant, Govinda Das, will lock him in the room, because sometime he will go wandering through the night. They will be anxious for his safety. So he will lock him in the room. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will pass through the walls. He will pass through the walls. And then have a material body, although appeared like a material body. And one day they were searching for him. They found him in front of the Jagannath temple, lying down unconscious, and the cows were licking his body. So they started a kirtan to bring him back to consciousness. And he jumped and danced, and he lamented, "Why you brought me here? I was at Govardhan, and the gopi asked me to help them collect flour to make garlands for Radha Krishna. And I saw Radha Krishna entering a cave. And suddenly, by your shouting loudly, you brought me here. Why are you so cruel to me?" And he's crying like that. Another time, they were searching for him, and Mahaprabhu confused the ocean for the Yamuna, so he jumped in the ocean. They were looking for everywhere, he couldn't find him. And they saw a fisherman laughing, crying, rolling in the ground. They asked him, "Have you seen Mahaprabhu?" He knew Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu would go every noontime, take bath in the ocean. No, I haven't seen him. Why you acting crazy?" "I don't know. I was fishing at night, and my net got the corpse, but the corpse had no head, no arm, no leg. And when I touch it, I think a ghost entered my body. It made me crazy, crying, laughing, non-stop. Take us where the corpse is." So they took him, and there was there. No, the head wasn't there, no. And they understood this Mahaprabhu. It was an ecstasy. His body shrunk inside, like a tortoise, They started chanting loudly, they came back. His head came back. Arm came back. So Mahaprabhu showed symptom of ecstasy, not even in the scriptures. He will sweat blood sometimes in the kirtan, in his ecstasy. His body become elongated, like elastic man, like that. And everything about him is extraordinary, amazingly extraordinary. Prabhupada said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, God himself. He could have broadcasted this movement all over the world. Why he didn't do it? That Prabhupada answered in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilya said, because he wanted to give the credit to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Meaning to Srila Prabhupada. He's the founder. He wanted to give the credit to him. I mean, and Krishna made all the arrangement that Prabhupada will come at a time in America where young people were looking for a spiritual life. Maybe in the wrong way, in many ways, but they were looking for Guru, for guidance. And Krishna provided the perfect guidance, like that. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, what is this part? Because once Prabhupada was at the airport with many disciples, and a reporter was asking him, Lord Jesus made many miracles. What miracles have you done? And he said, here is my miracle, my disciples. Before they were addicted to intoxication, as it says, gambling, meat eating. They gave all this to surrender to God, to Krishna. Isn't it a miracle? Yes, it's a miracle. To give up this thing is not easy, obviously. But becomes a way of life. For devotee, they get accustomed to live like that. It's not. Once it's like habit is second nature. What you do during the day is what you become. So if you during the day your habit is waking up, chanting Hare Krishna, reading the books, and then becomes part of your day, avoiding sinful activities. Then it becomes natural. It's not making much effort. It comes, by itself. You don't have to do like, oh no, I don't have to. Like I remember once I was giving a lecture in Mexico City, and one lady said, So you don't eat meat, no? No eggs, no fish, no chicken, no. But don't tell me that you sometime go to a restaurant to eat some crabs. Say, no. I have no interest in this. We lost our interest in this. Every thief consider others to be thief.
Actually, I forget who was mentioning, but some Maharaj mentioned that just like you're driving a car, so first you're like very careful about the rules and direction. You're just focusing on the road. So that's like when somebody starts practicing Krishna consciousness, they're very paka about the rules and regulations. But then when you become an expert driver, then you're looking at the scenery, you're looking at the trees, you start relishing and enjoying the drive.
Yes.
Similarly in Krishna consciousness.
Prabhupada gives a very nice example that the child is born with the capacity to walk, but at the beginning he needs to practice, no? And sometimes he falls, Peter encouraged, no, get up, you can walk, try it again, like that. Then for practicing, he become expert, he can run. With eyes closed, he can run. So the same way, no, when we become spiritually, fixed in Krishna consciousness, we can run with eyes closed to Krishna. Becomes part of our nature. And also, I'll give you another example. One lady, she has a baby, and she has to cook, she's cooking, and the baby is nearby in a cradle, but the baby is crying. So the mother can't stop cooking, she has to cook. So she asked her young daughter, go market, run fast and buy some something to entertain the baby. These things, they make some sound, and like this, no?
Toys.
Some toys make some sound and like this. So the girl went market, brought this toy, gave it to the baby to get entertained, clapping it and make some sound. And she can do it. But then after a while, the baby felt hungry, start crying again. So the mother again told them, try to entertain with the sound, and her daughter was also trying to entertain the baby with the toy and making sound. Again became entertained like that. But then after some time, the baby felt more hungry, so start to cry loudly. So the mother has to stop and immediately go feed the baby. So the same way, we may sometime pray for Krishna, but immediately Maya gives some entertainment. Watch this video, watch this this thing, that thing. We are okay. And then after some time, we have to cry for Krishna, it's true. And then Maya entertains some other way. But when it becomes really, intense, then Krishna. So we have to increase the intensity. And the mother knows when the child cries desperately, she has to take care immediately, Can't be entertained anymore with toys. Hare Krishna. Very good. Thank you for coming.
Maharaj, there was I think Indradumna Maharaj had written a Vyas Puja offering. Did you read that? Have you read Indradumna Maharaj?
No, I don't remember reading. Maybe I did, I'm not sure.
You have?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
So Indradumna Maharaj is writing this Vyas Puja offering from Srila Prabhupada, and he's quoting Shivram Maharaj.
Oh.
And Shivram Maharaj received a letter from
Oh, I know about that. I read that offering.
Yeah.
I know that letter. There's a girl, teenager,
Yes.
and she's explaining
About her grandmother.
that she went to festival and she got this book, and grandmother chastised her, why you bring this book, we are Christians and all this. And she was not even reading it, she put it in the shelf. That then the grandmother wanted to know what it's all about, start reading the book. And after reading the book, she called all the family. From now on, the family is vegetarian. No more meat enter this house. Swami Prabhupada is very nice teacher. He's teaching that we should not kill animals. It's not good. So from now on, no, zero meat in this house. They were surprised. And we should go visit the temple and chant Hare Krishna. So all the family became devotees, thanks to the grandmother. And thanks to the guru who brought the book. So the guru is asking Maharaj in the letter, what power has Prabhupada that by just reading his book changed the heart of my grandmother? All the family changed their heart, but just by reading the book, so much power is there of conviction, that's the power of pure devotee. His word touched the heart of people. Once a devotee told me an amazing story, that he was in a book fair and they have a table with books. And one family approached the table, and the man looking at the books, he saw the Bhagavad Gita. He grabbed the Bhagavad Gita, opened the book, and saw Prabhupada's picture. And he was very nervous. He told his wife, look, this is the man who appeared for 3 nights in my dream, telling me, buy my Bhagavad Gita, buy my Bhagavad Gita. It is real, here it is, And the devotee was surprised, really? You did? Yes, for 3 nights, consecutive nights, he appeared in my dream telling me, buy my Bhagavad Gita. So he bought 20 Bhagavad Gita to give his friend and to give his family, like that. It's amazing, the power of pure devotee. How can he change people's lives? It's amazing. It's like a miracle. And we are part of this miracle because we are also life changed by Prabhupada. We can't be, materialist again, not possible. Spoiled. For the materialistic society, we are spoiled. Yes.
Thank you. Maharaj, just talking to His Grace Bhagshara Das, he's a disciple, he's a Srila Prabhupada disciple, and he's a priest in Berkeley Temple.
Yes.
And he was talking, he said he had been in Mayapur when they were opening, and they're installing the Mahaprabhu, the deities.
Yes.
And then he said when they were installing, when they opened the eyes, and then he said he felt a wave of love. I mean, no one expected, they were just standing there, Maharaj. And then he said as they opened green,
Prana Pratishta,
and he said he felt a wave of love, I mean something really, a big wave coming.
Yes.
And I was just trying to recollect the article you read by a Christian theologian who says
yes.
This Mahaprabhu exhibited spiritual intoxication.
Yes.
Could you please speak on that? Because if the mercy on that spiritual intoxication relating to the experience of Bhagshara Prabhu, what I am curious is that the wave is over, it's a flooding of love.
Flood of love is Mahaprabhu and his Panchatattva. They broke the storehouse of love of Godhead and they were distributing without discrimination to everyone. They would not see who's fitting or not fitting. They would give it freely, like that. The holy name. By chanting holy name you can achieve Krishna prem. Take it, freely, like that. So the wave of love was opened by Mahaprabhu and his eternal associate. And it's still spreading. It's still spreading. It's not because he's not personally here. No, this Mahaprabhu said, I will remain in this world in three forms. In my holy name, the prasad, and the deity. In these three ways, he will remain in this world. So, I mean to say, is non-different, Lord, from his murti, from his deity. Is absolute. Remember the story of Gauridas Pandit. Gauridas went to visit his house, and after a few days they wanted to leave. He said, no, you can't leave. If you leave, I will die. I can't tolerate your separation. I'm very attached to your seva, to your company. Then Mahaprabhu made deities of Gauridas, made of neem wood. And say, okay, you worship them, no different from us. He said, okay, then you stay, let them go. Since they are not different from you, they can go. Okay, it's okay. The deity walked out. And then he ran after them. No, you can't go. Mahaprabhu gave to me, how can you go? So they came back. Okay, then we can go. They left. No, you can't go also. Finally, one said stay.
Wow. Wow. So Maharaj, my desire is, if the wave is already here, so there's a chance for getting the love of God.
Yes, it is a great chance.
Great chance.
A great chance. It's there already in the heart.
Correct.
No? Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema, say the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's just covered by Tamagun, Rajagun. We have to clean the heart, Chetodarpana Marjanam. Then the heart clean naturally will appear. It's not something you have need from outside. It's already there.
Correct.
It's in every soul. Just need to clean the heart. Then those feelings naturally start awakening. Then everything reminds you of Krishna.
Right.
Nothing makes you forget Krishna. Going to airport, you see people crying, some family leaving. Oh, when Krishna went to Mathura, all the gopis were crying. Like everything reminds you of Krishna like that. Then that is Krishna consciousness. I see the sun in the morning, I pay my obeisance to the sun. Yachakshure sasavita sakala grahanam raja samasta murti rasesha teja yasyagya brahma disamrita kala chakra govinda madi purusham tamaham bhajami. You are the eye of the Lord. You get so much power, irradiate heat and light all over the universe. And you're getting your power from Govinda. He's giving you the power. And also, Radharani will worship the sun, will excuse to worship the sun god to go see Krishna. Krishna will disguise as a priest of the Brahmana doing puja to sun god, and they will meet in that way. So sun god was excuse for them to meet. Radharani said, I'm going to worship Surya Dev. So Surya Dev very fortunate. He's serving Radha and Krishna also in that way. Once Radha and Krishna were feeling separation from each other, Radharani told her friend Lalita, I need to write a letter to Krishna. I'm feeling too much separation. Bring me please a peacock feather and palm leaf. I want to write something to Krishna. You take the letter. So she sat down and gonna write, and she became so absorbed in Krishna that she thought herself to be Krishna. So she was writing, oh, my very dear Radha. And then she realized what she did. Tears came from her eyes on the palm leaf, and she folded, take it to Krishna. When Krishna opened the letter, he realized what happened. He said, no, Radha is feeling too much separation from me. I have to answer her immediately. Subal, bring me, something to write. So Krishna sat down, what I should say to Radharani. He became absorbed in Radharani so much, he thought himself to be Radharani. So he wrote, my very dear Shyam Sundar. He also cried. Send it to Radharani. So they are one and two bodies, one soul and two bodies. For the purpose of pastimes, they became two. If one can become attracted to worship Radha and Krishna, he loses all attraction to enjoy the material world. It's higher attraction, sublime, pure, spiritual. It's like iron and gold, both metals, but you can't compare the value of iron to gold. The same way, Radha Krishna love is like gold, and the material love is like iron. There's no comparison. All right, so thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanand.
Hari, 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 Hari.
Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai.
Maharaj, we have our own devotee called Jennifer. She's a Mongolian, and she once told me that all she had was a Russian copy of the Bhagavad Gita, and she didn't have any association whatsoever. And just by reading that copy of Bhagavad Gita, she was Krishna became Krishna conscious, so really interested.
She became
so
devotee.
Yeah, so
Very nice. Very nice. She lives here in Sacramento?
she does live in Sacramento. She lives where she lives. Yeah. Yeah,
Very nice. Nice. Wonderful. Hare Krishna.